As always, we are here on the internet, and we are watching more Pokemon Europe International Championship arenas with the trading card game. Robert Kinbrum versus Tomos Morris. Looks like, ooh, we're gonna finally see a Miraidon deck. I've been actually interested to see Miraidon. It's probably Lost Box again on the right, just because I see Beach Court, Water Energy, Radiant Greninja. Would make sense if maybe this is a Kyogre build or just some standard Lost Box. Just attach a Water Energy and pass is not very good here. Robert actually has the ability to donk, which would be fun to see. It looks like we have a Forest Seal Stone. Yeah, if he plays any switching cards, he could theoretically donk. We'll have to see. We are going to research. We are playing the new Sada research. We are going to get rid of 2 Regieleki VMAXs and a Cramomatic. That's an interesting decision to have in the deck. Ooh, that's a lot of Lightning Energy as well. But honestly, not that bad of a hand for Miraidon. Miraidon usually has big energy hands because they play like 14 to 16 energy usually. So, for those who don't know, Miraidon EX has the Tandem Unit ability. It allows you to search your deck for 2 basic lightning Pokemon and put them onto your bench. And that is not once per turn. So, well, it's once per turn per Pokemon. So you can use Miraidon EX to get Miraidon EX, and then use that Miraidon EX to get another 2 Pokemon. So you can fill your entire bench up just basically off of 1 Miraidon. You can use 1 Miraidon to get 2 Miraidon, and then use each of those Miraidon to get more Pokemon. So, yep, we use the first Miraidon to get Regieleki V Miraidon, and use the second Miraidon to get Raikou V and another Miraidon. That's actually interesting that he didn't go for an additional Regieleki V, but I suppose since you've already discarded 2 VMAXs, maybe you don't want to go for that. Especially if you're not playing Klefki. I would assume at this point that they're not playing Klefki in this deck. I think that Klefki is a necessity if you are playing the Miraidon deck, because you have a very bad Lost Box matchup in my opinion, unless you are playing the Klefki. For those who haven't seen my TikTok, first of all, check out the TikTok. But I made one where it actually describes how this matchup goes. You want to set up 3 Regieleki Vs on your bench at minimum. You want to evolve 2 of them into the VMAXs. You want to have 1 Klefki active, 1 on your bench. And every turn you use your Beach Court to retreat your Klefki into your Regieleki V basic. Use the first attack for 30 and switch with your bench Pokemon. And there is the switch card for game. Alright, yep, so we did the electric generator to get 1 of those lightning energies on, attached for turn, switch cart, and now we had the knockout. So that was a donk. That was pretty great for Robert already. So yeah, you'll love to see it. That is the power of Miraidon, though. You can just go blazes in turn 1, get really big knockouts, go really fast. Of course, turn 2 and after is another story in my opinion. But yeah, you want to continually pivot the Regieleki V with the Klefki, and you want to have a second Klefki on the bench in case you get escape roped. And that shuts off all of the Comfey's abilities. So the Klefki says all basic Pokemon in play have no abilities. So all of the Comfeys can't do anything. The Radiant Greninja can't do anything. So you use the first attack 30 and switch back into the Klefki. With 2 Regieleki VMAXs, that's actually an additional 30 for each. So that's a total of 90. You're one-shotting all of the Comfeys your opponent has, while also continuously shutting them off. So if you're not playing Comfey, I'm surprised if you can beat Lost Box. But of course, if Lost Box just goes attach pass with 1 Sableye in the active, then that's how you win. That's how you win games. So we're going to see if this is going to be actually a game this time. It looks like 3 lightning energies prized for Miraidon, only 1 for the Lost Box deck, but 2 nest balls in there. That's not what you want to see, because you do want to set up as many basic Pokemon as you can. Use a whole bunch of your flower selectings by swapping around your Comfeys. You do need more than 2 Comfey in play sometimes in this new format, now that you don't have the scoop up net to keep picking up your Pokemon and reutilizing the same exact Comfeys over and over. Looks like there is a Regieleki VMAX in the hand for Robert here, but not much else. Looks like maybe a research you could just play. Wouldn't be terrible. You'd lose one of the VMAXs, but I think you're more than fine with losing one of the VMAXs. We used flower selecting to Lost Zone the Sky Seal Stone, which I guess the judge has to read for some reason. And we do get the Battle VIP pass, so we're going to be able to search our deck for 2 basic Pokemon, put them onto the bench, and as always, we get the Comfey and the Radiant Greninja. For those who've actually watched all of my videos, you're probably tired of me saying it. The Lost Box gets Comfey, Radiant Greninja off of Battle VIP pass every time. Unless you started a Radiant Greninja, in which case you get double Comfey. Pretty self-explanatory. Also, we see a little sitting cutie, I think that is, of the Kangaskhan. I can't really see it too well at this angle, but I like how it's got the little baby in its pouch, so I want to know how cute the little baby looks. I also like that this Lost Box player is marking all of the abilities that have been used. Not every player does that as well as they should. Always use your own ability use markers if you can, or just the coins like they're using. We do start off with a nest ball from Robert, and in this deck, again, 1 nest ball can be 5 Pokemon, because you can get Miraidon EX, and then Miraidon EX gets Miraidon and Regieleki, and then the second Miraidon gets Regieleki and Regieleki, or Regieleki Raikou, or whatever. You started Raikou, you don't really need another one. So, yep. Miraidon got Miraidon Regieleki. Second Miraidon is getting double Regieleki, I would assume. Or Regieleki Raikou would be fine too, I guess. The scary thing in this matchup is if they're playing Galarian Zapdos, you just kind of lose. Especially if you don't have that Clef Key, which, as we can see, Robert is not playing any Clef Key. Looks like the second Miraidon is getting just Raikou. Looks like he's going to fail to find for the second Pokemon. And we're going to Ultra Ball as well. Looks like he just wanted to thin some cards out of the hand, maybe before the research. I don't think that really matters. You could have just researched, and it would have had the same effect. Oh, no, you want to get the Radiant Greninja. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you want to save that last bench spot for that. Because you have so many energies, you can utilize them however you want. Just discard them is perfectly fine. Looks like we have an electric generator as well, so we can use that. Look at the top 5 cards of our deck. If any of them are lightning energies, you can attach them to your bench lightning Pokemon. So we are going to get 2 off of that and immediately put them on the benched Raikou. That fully powers that thing up. You can also, I guess, attach to the... Looks like he mixed up his hand and his electric generator top decks for a second, but the judge helped him out there, so that was good. Nerves of being on stream can sometimes affect you like that. Yeah, I would attach to the active, that's perfectly fine, and then research. I would like to see the switch cart to try to save that energy, or just the beach core. Ooh, the beach core is there. Yeah, that's even better. That gives your opponent the free retreat too, but yeah, it looks like he's thinking about... Oh, he's going to fleet-footed first. Of course, you don't want to forget that. And he is going to retreat. He wants to hold the beach court in his hand so that his opponent does not have the ability to use that. Forcing extra resources out of your opponent. And going to use the second fleet-footed as well. That's awesome. Getting as much use out of those Raikou as possible. And then we're going to just take that knockout. So you can see just how powerful this Miraidon deck is. And it's kind of funny because the power doesn't really come from the Miraidon's attack. It just comes from the Miraidon's ability and the electric generator. As long as you can hit 1 or 2 energy off your electric generator, you can really get off to the races here. So if we had seen that electric generator miss one of the energies, we would have just seen that hard attach return to the benched Raikou, and then the beach court would have come down, is the only difference in the turn. But otherwise, it would have still had the same effect. V-Star! So we do see Chorus's experiment here. We do have our own Raikou V on the bench with a Forest Seal Stone, it looks like. I do believe all of the lightning Pokemon in the Miraidon deck are weak to fighting. None of them are weak to lightning themselves. I think it's just Flying Pikachu that's weak to lightning. And not every Miraidon deck plays Flying Pikachu. I personally would play Flying Pikachu in Miraidon if I could. I would play 3 Klefki and a maybe 2/2 Flying Pikachu. I don't know if I'd have all the room for all of that, but I mean, I'd try to fit it. The Flying Pikachu is mostly for Lugia, in all honesty. Lugia doesn't really play Dunsparce. They have no out to Flying Pikachu. You just run them over. Their Lugia is weak to it. And then all of their other Pokemon can't hit it. Because they're all basic. I mean, I guess you could attack them with the Archeops, but that just feels bad. What are you going to do, 100 with double turbo on it? Yeah, so Tomos has a really big hill to try to overcome here after getting donked game 1. Basically has to 2-0 this match because he didn't even get to play game 1. So you're going to see an attach of the Psychic Energy for turn just to retreat after we Mirage Gate to this Raikou. We are going to use the Fleet-Footed because, again, why not? Always use your Fleet-Footed if you can. And just going to take the one-shot on the Raikou with the Raikou. So Robert will probably have an easy one-shot here on this Raikou with any one of his Pokemon. And the question will be, is Tomos going to have a way out from there? Does he play Fighting Energy and Galarian Zapdos? I'm really surprised that I haven't seen a single Lost Box deck yet in the tournament playing Fighting Energy Galarian Zapdos. But I guess if they're not hitting Miraidon, they don't need it. Looks like we are going to see the concealed cards, discarding a Lightning Energy to draw 2. We do hit Electric Generator off that second card, so maybe we will be able to power up this next Raikou V. If you power up Miraidon EX instead, and not bench another Pokemon, you can make it so your opponent can't return knockout. Now, how many Lightning Energies were on that Electric Generator? If there was 2, I would actually like to see the attach go to the Miraidon EX. If there's only 1, I think I would put it to the Raikou. There is 2. Yeah, I would like to see the Miraidon get powered up here. Just to make it so your opponent is least likely able to knock you out. But nope, we get the electric generator to the Raikou V. Gonna just keep going with that. Because the Miraidon does have 220, so as long as you don't have a full bench, your opponent won't be able to do 220. If both benches are full, that's 100 for each bench, plus the base 20 is 220. So you're gonna have to force your opponent to have like an echoing horn. Or at least a boss's orders to bring up the Raikou. But then that would also reset the Miraidon's attack. But looks like we're just going to bench another Pokemon anyway. Remove that possibility from the equation. Or I guess not. Nope, we're going to use Miraidon to search Miraidon. I think the Regieleki would have been better in play at that point, but... You already have 2 Miraidons in play. But I guess you can thin another card out that way. We are going to Beach Court to Free Retreat, and then Fleet-Footed to draw a card. It's a Nest Ball, which is kind of dead at this point, but that's fine. And we are going to just see the knockout Zapdos, the Raikou Wars are coming in hot here. So Robert now down to 3 prize cards remaining. If Tomos has maybe a Claw, or like Tomos has to have like some sort of way to just one-shot this Raikou, right? Yep. Oh, I thought that was a fighting energy, the way the light hit it. The way the light hit the hollow. I was so excited for a second. And then I saw him conceal cards it away, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And the second it hit the discard pile, it changed in my brain from brown to yellow, and I'm like, ah, shoot. I just got too excited. I got too excited for the Zapdos. Looks like we are going to attach for turn to our benched Sableye here. We are at 10 in the Lost Zone, so we can attack with Sableye. Now, how do we want to load up this damage here? Do we want to spread it around, make some knockouts easier for things? Yeah, do we want to like go to the Regieleki V and hope that the opponent evolves it so you can take a 3 prize knockout? Do you want to just do like 6 to both of the... Yeah, I guess he's just doing 6 to each Miraidon. So what's that put him at? That puts him to 160 remaining HP. So how does that help with the math? Is there something that does once? Is he planning on attacking with Drapion? I couldn't imagine that. Because doesn't Drapion do 160? Yeah, I wouldn't believe that there would be an attack with that. So we will be able to just see this Zapdos attack again, and this also gives Robert another turn to find another electric generator to try to start loading up one of these Miraidons, potentially, as the next attacker, or even the Regieleki V. Because you could always attack with Regieleki V, do the second attack, does 100 plus reduces 100 next turn. It's kind of like the Gudra V-Star. I'm gonna Fleet-Footed to draw a card. Just another switch cart. You could retreat, switch cart, and heal 30 off of each Miraidon. I don't know if that really does anything for you, though. It looks like he's trying to use Switch Cart just to heal that, but I think the judge is telling him he has to actually play out the action instead of just take the shortcut. So he is going to switch cart to heal 30 to the Miraidon. Move that Miraidon active. Yeah, you should really play it out for the stream. And then... yeah, he put it in the lost zone for some reason. Now he's going to switch cart, heal 30 off of this Miraidon. Go back into that Miraidon. Does he have another switch cart? He does. He's going to heal 30 damage off of that Miraidon yet again. This is actually kind of crazy how much he's healed. He just healed 90 damage. He almost made that Sableye do not. He made that Sableye do 30 damage. Oh, and now he's going to play Boss's Orders and take a 2-prize knockout on Raikou V. If I was Tomos, I would just scoop here. Because you have to knock out this Raikou in one shot and then try to one-shot the Miraidon the next turn, I guess? Yeah, this gives Robert potentially 2 turns to just find the energy. If you can one-shot them now, then that forces them to find another electric generator to finish powering up the the Miraidon EX. Do see Chorus's experiment, look at the top 5. Again, almost thought that was a fighting energy, but that is a hollow lightning energy. One of those newer League promo ones. You know, I hope when the prize packs get to the silver bordered cards, I hope that we get the silver bordered promo energies. I think that would be pretty sweet. That is a huge hand, and it's kind of ridiculous that you don't have what you need at this point. We did get Dragonite. Concealed cards. What do we need? Energy Recycler? Is that what we're missing? Oh, we have Kyogre. Yeah, I think he is trying to... I think he is potentially using Drapion at some point. No, he looks like he lost vacuumed away the Drapion. Big sad. I was excited to see that. Looks like switch cart. What was that? Nest Ball and something else? Switch cart. Gonna Comfey Flower selecting yet again. There's an Echoing Horn and a Battle VIP Pass. What are you still looking for? Is the Energy Recycler actually in there? Is it on the last cards? That would be kind of funny. You have one more Comfey left. If you have this last, like, switch card or escape rope available, I think you go for it. You'd be forced to. Yeah, there's escape rope. Now, what's Robert going to switch into? Probably the Radiant Greninja, I would think. You're going to force Tomos to have a boss, but he already played Chorus this turn, I think. And he switches into the Miraidon? Why wouldn't you switch into the... Why wouldn't you switch into the Radiant Greninja? Put him on odd prize cards. And he's setting up a Kyogre play. Oh, so he's gonna... Yes, he's going for the Kyogre play. So you discard the top 5 cards of your deck, then choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and do 50 damage for each energy you discarded that way. So that's why he stacked the energy that way to the Miraidon. He's going to Mirage Gate to the Kyogre. He's gonna retreat into the Kyogre. And now he's gonna mill the rest of his deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energy cards. Knock out 2 of the benched Pokemon, taking 4 prize cards in 1 turn, and that is why Kyogre is a good card. Whew. Wow. Yeah, that came out of seemingly nowhere. That was really great. That was a good game. Let's get into this next game. Looks like we prized a 1-1 Regieleki line and a Miraidon along with 2 Lightning Energy, which of course is fine. Nothing too important on Tomos' side. We're going to have to see, does Tomos get donked again? That would be funny. And of course, all of a sudden, I'm at 480p out of nowhere. Alright, it's fixed. Robert does go first. Looks like we are using Miraidon EX's tandem unit ability. We are going to be able to search our deck for 2 basic lightning Pokemon to put onto our bench. The first one is another Miraidon EX. What else are we choosing here? We could probably go for a Regieleki V. We could also go for a Raikou V. Those are probably our best options. We already have one Regieleki V in hand. And then we are using our second Miraidon. We're going to get a Raikou V. And what else? I do like that he's playing those Alt-Art Raikous. I really need one. I don't have one yet. I don't want to pay like 25 bucks for it. That's the problem. I'd rather pay $6 for another copy of a regular one than pay like 25 bucks for an Alt-Art. But the Alt-Art looks so good. Raikou is one of my favorite Pokemon. It's definitely in like my top 10, I think. I'm not quite sure. Because like it always felt like the least loved of the legendary doggies. Well, they're not dogs, they're cats. I always call them legendary dogs, they're cats. He's a saber-tooth kitty. Entei's a lion, and Suicune's a leopard. So we do Ultra Ball. We're going to get rid of an Eleki V. Grab that Radiant Greninja. Try to get that extra draw. I think Radiant Greninja is really good in this deck. I almost want to play Energy Recycler in this deck just to like try to hit the electric generators more often. But then you're just stacking a bunch of dead cards in your deck if you don't have electric generators. So I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like you shouldn't, but I want to. You know what I mean? Looks like we're just doing a pass here. So Tomos is not having a dead start this time. So maybe we'll have a game more like game 2, where we can do 250 damage to 2 bench Pokemon. So we are going Battle VIP Pass on turn 1. The best card to play on turn 1 since it is completely useless every other turn of the game. We are going to get Double Comfey. Why did we get Double Comfey? Because we already have Radiant Greninja in play. As always, the first 3 Pokemon you want in play as Lost Box is Radiant Greninja and 2 Comfey. I know a lot of people were thinking that the Charizard version, the Radiant Charizard version of Lost Box was a lot better, but I think you really need the consistency of Radiant Greninja. Looks like we are going to Lost Zone a Water Energy off of our first Flower Selecting. We are going to Switch Cart into our next Flower Selecting. We're going to get rid of a Psychic Energy. A little bit concerning that our first 2 Lost Zones are energy cards, but you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. We are loading up the Radiant Greninja with a first Water Energy. That is 1 Mirage Gate away from being powered up, but we're still quite a few cards in the Lost Zone away from Mirage Gate. But that would soften up a couple of Regieleki VMAXs potentially to be hit with that Kyogre attack. So that would be pretty sweet if you just won off of knocking out 2 Regieleki VMAXs. So it really goes to show that in this matchup, you cannot put Regieleki VMAX into play. Unless you're playing the Klefki, in which case then you definitely do that. But yeah, if you're not, you gotta just go ham. So we do have the Beach Court here. We will be able to retreat into the Fleet-Footed and use it. We do get the Electric Generator. That's a pretty good 1 card to draw. Unfortunately, we're now going to need a Switch Cart in order to actually potentially attack. Yeah, if I were them, I would definitely use Miraidon to get another Raikou. In case you do hit the 2 energy off of that Electric Generator, you will have the ability to have an attack this turn. You do have 2 Switch Carts in hand. So yeah, let's see if we're going to be able to get there this turn. There's one. Just one. Looks like Robert really needed a second one. I don't think he has one in hand. Yeah, it's unfortunate if so. Looks like he's considering putting it to the Regieleki. Yeah, I don't think that that's a bad idea because the minus 100 is pretty good. You can't really do the 30 pivot attack, the switching bolt, if you don't have the clef keys in deck. So Lightning Wall is still a really solid attack against Lost Box. And I'm surprised that he hasn't been using that already. Because even if Tomos goes ahead and starts attacking with, say, a Raikou V, you can always just evolve it to the VMAX in one shot, because the VMAX does the same attack as Miraidon. It's just 220 and you can't attack next turn. But the Regieleki has free retreat. You don't even need the beach court to have free retreat. I also like that he put a marker on the beach court to say that he already retreated for turn, which is kind of funny. Just attaches for turn and passes. How was that? Well, how did he do that? Did he Serena? Yeah, I think he Serena'd. We're going to Lost Zone an Echoing Horn with our first flower selecting of the turn. We are going to use Radiant Greninja to discard an energy and draw 2. We do get a Cramorant, not too bad. You could always attack with that this turn into the Raikou. That would not be the worst thing to do. We are going to use our next flower selecting. Better mark that with a coin. Do have 4 in the Lost Zone now. We can free retreat with that beach court. We are going to attach a Psychic Energy to the Radiant Greninja, just like hard loading that thing up. Not bad, especially since that Greninja can actually knock out the Raikou next turn. And then put 90 on the other Raikou, and then that's one Cramorant away from taking the knockout. So, yeah, math actually been doing some math in here. We are down at least 2 switch carts for Robert, so we're really going to want to see switch cart just to heal that 30. Looks like Tomos is down 3 switch carts already. See, we got Research, Ultra Ball. You could Ultra Ball just a Thin, potentially. Yeah, we do Fleet-Footed for 1. Yeah, you could Ultra Ball just a Thin a card, and then Research. And looks like we're going to go for the Serena instead. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Saving the Research for a future turn, just drawing yet another Research. Yeah, that was a pretty dead 3 cards. I would have liked to see the Research instead of the Serena. But does draw another energy for the Radiant Greninja. We do get the switch cart. We can actually heal 30 of that damage off of this Raikou V and switch into the Regieleki and use Lightning Wall, which will knock out because it does do weakness to this Cramorant, so it will hit for 200, knocking that out, and we'll be taking 90 less damage on this next turn. Tomos could always go around that by just attacking with the Radiant Greninja and hitting 2 benched Pokemon, probably the 2 Raikou. But because of that heal of the 30 from the switch cart, that's actually not going to be a knockout on the damaged one. So we do see the Colossus Experiment. We are at 7 in Lost Zone now. We're also going to see a Concealed cards, getting rid of a Lightning Energy. We still need a Water Energy in order to use Moonlight Shuriken with that Greninja. We do have 3 Mirage Gates in hand, but you are trying to save those for the Kyogre turn. And you need to wait until your deck is super thin to do the Kyogre turn. So it looks like we are going to retreat using the Beach Court for free. Comfey Flower selecting yet again. Lost Zoning yet another card, putting another card in hand. I think he kept the Clara. I like how they're also putting the marker on the Beach Court. That's an easy way to remember that you retreated. Thinking about benching a Sableye. You're only at 8 in the Lost Zone. You do have a Lost Vacuum. We are going to use one of our Mirage Gates here at least. Looks like... Ooh, is there no psychic energy in there? We do have the water energy, though. We have another way to switch. We're already down at least 3 switch carts. We already are aware. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, you have 1 psychic in the Lost Zone and 1 on the Greninja already. And that's why it's so important to be aware of your prize cards when you're playing Lost Box. It's so important to remember that both of these players do kind of know what they're doing because they are both 4-0. Only 2 wins away from basically making it to the second day. You need 6 wins and a tie at minimum, or 5 wins and 4 ties, which is technically the same record as far as match points are concerned. But we do see the escape rope, so we do have a fully powered up Radiant Greninja now. We are going to use the Lost Vacuum to Lost Zone the Beach Court Stadium, and we are going to hit for 90 on 2 benched Pokemon. So what are we going to pick? I would think both the Raikous probably would make sense. Yep, we're going to do the damaged one, so that's going to be at 170, 30 away from knockout, because, again, we healed that 30. And then 90 to the other Raikou. So that's a 5. Yep. Perfect. Robert's like, I forgot how much damage was on it because I picked up the dice. You always got to remember what you're at. I'm always a fan of like doing the math first, and then after you've confirmed what the damage is by both players, then moving the dice around. Unless like your opponent is doing something along the lines of Sableye, they could always make the dice out, kind of like how it is on PTCGL, where you like drag and drop the damage counters. You could always put like, I'm putting 5 here, I'm putting 3 here, I'm putting 1 here, etc. And they just drop it like that, spread it around. It's a lot better when you have those Japanese style damage markers when you're doing that, because you can just take a bunch of the little 10s, or like the ones from the theme decks, even the little cardboard ones, and just take them and like sprinkle them like Salt Bae. Probably the most accurate way to do it. My cat is meowing at me. I already fed her. I fed you like 6 hours ago. She's already had dinner. Maybe she wants to go to bed. I should probably go to bed. I have another Winnabox tomorrow. You guys know how much I love Winnaboxes. I haven't missed a top 4 yet. At least in the last, like, month. We see an electric generator. We're gonna see 2 energy off of that. Nice. Put that to the Miraidon. No use in powering up those Raikous at this point. Might as well make the threats the things that don't have damage counters on them. There is an energy in hand. You could use concealed cards, but at this point you might be getting thin on energy because your deck is so small. But there are 2 in the prize cards, so... But you're only taking 1 prize at a time, really. Yeah, so the thing is Tomos going to be able to get to a Kyogre turn at some point? There is a lot of energy in the discard here. We are going to Clara. We're going to get back the Radiant Greninja, Water Psychic, Cramorant. Yeah, you're going to want a Cramorant. Well, we did switch cart another... another Raikou. So again, you're just quite not quite within the range that you want to be in. We are using, I don't know why you put it in the discard pile instead of on the Comfey, but we are using the flower selecting here to try to dig a little bit further. We're just thinning as much out of our hand as possible by putting those tools down. They're not really doing anything for him right now, so might as well in case you get rock sand or something. We are going to attack with the Sableye. We have exactly 10 in the loss zone. So we are going to put 3 damage counters on the Raikou V to knock that out, and probably put the rest on the other Raikou V. I think there might have been some sort of discrepancy. I mean, I can't believe that he would have announced Scratch. So, yeah, he definitely is announcing Lost Mine. 3 to Sableye. He's going to do some to the Miraidon. And maybe some to the other Miraidon. Looks like 7 to the first Miraidon. So you have 2 left. So just put the 2 on the other Miraidon, probably. Yeah. I mean, that seems fine. I don't know. I think I would have more heavily damaged the one with the energy on it, but that's just me. I'm not sure if it really matters, because you are trying to set up for the Kyogre turn. It really doesn't quite matter what you do until you get to the Kyogre turn. You have 3 turns to get there. So all you have to do is continue thinning your deck, and just get to the point where you have Energy Recycler Mirage Gate. With the Kyogre in hand, retreat into that thing, and just blow them up. So if you can keep chaining Sableyes until then, to make the math easier, so that you could go for it a little bit earlier, I think Tomos really has this in the bag. Unfortunate for Robert, he only got 1 donk in this set. But it's really nice to see that we were able to get to a Game 3 and have plenty of time to get to a true conclusion of Game 3. It might go to turns, but I do believe that somebody will be winning this game. Probably Tomos. As long as he can get the Kyogre going. If he can't get the Kyogre going, I think Robert could win. But I don't think Tomos prized anything important to get the Kyogre. He does have the Kyogre in hand already. So he's just waiting for his deck to be thin enough, basically. All he has to do is make sure his opponent doesn't, like, judge him. And as we've seen from these 3 games already, Robert is really just heavy on the draw supporters. The hard discard draw. He's got Serenas and Researches. I have not seen a single judge. And that is why you gotta play judge in this format, because you stop Tomos from being able to do that play. You just judge him every single turn, make him burn all of his Chorus's experiments, and then judge him again. Another 5 cards off the top. Still not too many cards left in there. You want to make sure that your deck has no cards left so that then you can Energy Recycler 5 energies into there. And then guarantee what you're milling with the Kyogre. I think he just counted his deck. He wants to make sure he knows where he's at in regards to the Kyogre turn. But yeah, imagine you almost get to 0 cards in deck and your opponent just judges you. And you're out of course. You can't thin anymore. Like, what do you do? Gonna get rid of the Clara. A little scary, but you gotta keep that energy. He's gonna... Comfey, he's gonna retreat. Comfey again. Get an Energy Recycler. Oh yeah, he has everything he needs. We know there's already 2 Mirage Gate in there. We saw that earlier, because he had 3 and used 1. Now he's got at least 1 Energy Recycler and the Kyogre. He's gonna switch cart. He's gonna use Comfey yet again. There was an energy in there. The thing is, does he want to go for it now? I think he can. If he has another switch card, I think he can actually go for it right now. Unless he doesn't have double Energy Recycler. In which case, then he can't. But I think it's perfectly fine to just go, because at this point, we are very confident that our opponent, Robert, here does not have any judge in deck. So we are going to bench the Sableye. Looks like we might go for the Energy Recycler now. And he might just Sableye even harder. Nest Ball just to see the last card in deck, and it's Nest Ball. We are going to Energy Recycler. We're going to put 5 energy cards back into the deck. We are going to mill 5. So even if we Mirage Gate 2 onto Kyogre and attach for turn, you'll still be milling enough to take 2 knockouts on the Raikou and on the Miraidon. But it looks like we're not going that way. We're not going for the Kyogre? Okay, we're gonna go 1 energy to the Greninja and 1 to the Sableye. Yeah, you haven't shuffled. You can fail that energy. Yeah, I think he wants to save that. Because if you draw 1 for turn on the next turn, you're going to have 3 energies left. So I think what you do is you Sableye and you... Well, no. Now if you're doing this, if you don't have the other energy recycler, you're not going to have enough energy left in deck. You can just set up the Radiant Greninja. You can finish it off with Radiant Greninja and this extra Sableye. So actually, this is fine. You don't need to use Kyogre. So yeah, just use your last switch card. Do you have another switch card? You do. So yeah, just use Sableye. Put like 6 on the Miraidon with 70 and 6 on the Raikou with 60. I think that's fine. And then on the next turn, you can win off of Greninja or Kyogre, depending on how many energy recyclers you have left. Even if you draw one of the energies in deck, you have Attach and another Mirage Gate. So you should be able to get there. The only thing is, does Robert have any more Switch cards? I don't have a count. I can't remember how many he's used, but I want to say he's actually out the 4 already. But I could definitely be wrong, because I can't, I would want to pick up his discard pile and check now. Yeah, I would just do 6 there, 6 to the Raikou. 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 I'm just like repeating myself like a broken record here. So he put 6 there. Where are you going to put the last damage? To the Regieleki V. I mean, I don't think it really matters. Gonna put 5 to the Regieleki V and 1 to the Miraidon EX with the energy on it. 5, 6. Yeah. That's it. And then just pass the turn. There is still the Beach Court in play, so your opponent can just retreat and attack with the Regieleki V again. Yeah, so now how do you win with the Greninja if you didn't damage the Raikou? So what's in his hand? Does he have another energy recycler? That's the question. If he has another energy recycler, he might be fine. I don't know if there's even enough energy in the discard pile. Yeah, this is a little bit of an odd game. Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with Tomos's last... Lost mine. Yeah, I still can't see what's in Tomos's hand. I think Tomos is realizing exactly what he did. Yeah, because now you're 5 short on the Raikou from being able to take the knockout with the Radiant Greninja. Yeah, I think Robert's asking how many Mirage Gates he's down, which is just 2, I think. Yeah, there's one in the lost zone, 2 in the discard pile. So there's 1 in hand. Like, you basically know that at this point. And they're in turns as well. Oh yeah, they might have called time. Yeah, they definitely should have called time at this point, because the clock is at 0. So do we see the resolution or not? Yeah, I really feel like Tomo's through here. See, bosses, orders. Who's he bringing up? And why? If Tomos was turn 0, Tomos might not be able to win. Yeah, I wasn't paying close enough attention to the clock, so I'm not sure exactly when it was called. I think Tomos might have had the Kyogre play and the Radiant Greninja play both on the mind and then just kind of crossed his wires. That's something that I do. I have like 2 or 3 plays in mind. I try to figure out which is the best one, and then I end up like going for the worst one. And I'm like, wait, that's not the one I wanted to go for. I used to do that all the time. Not so much anymore. Still every once in a while, but... We're just gonna take that knockout on the Comfey. Does he even have enough energy? I guess he does. There is 3 energy. I think they're tying. Yeah, I think Tomos just said that there's no way for him to win. Yeah, he realized exactly what he was supposed to do. Yep, he just realized the play that I was talking about the whole time. I always watch this stuff like after it's already been live, so that I don't have to sit through all of the breaks. And I think this is what my group chat was blowing up about. They're like, I remember seeing something about Lost Box just through. But anyways, guys, as I said at the beginning of the video, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe because it feeds that YouTube algorithm and allows these videos to be seen by more people. And the more people that see this, the more the channel can grow and the more I can make these videos even better going forward. So we will see you guys next time.